Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Midi here. I'm so happy to be doing this video today. I hope that you guys are having a great quarantine. In case you were wondering, I've been having a pretty good quarantine so far, and I've been doing a lot of everything. I mean, other than working from home, which I hate, honestly, not gonna lie, but I've been doing a lot of cooking, working out, sleeping in, which is so awesome. And I've also even joined TikTok, which is honestly surprising because I told myself I wasn't gonna join TikTok, but here I am. And no, I have not posted any videos yet because I saved them all to my draft because I don't know, I just need more confidence, you know. TikTok is hard. Anyways, if you would like to follow me there, you can follow me at, I think it's Midi Baka. Anyways, I'm not sure. I'll have to check later. But you guys, I'm so happy to be doing today's video. I hope that you guys enjoy it. I've been wanting to make videos, more videos like these, because I have a lot of viewers and subscribers who watch my videos that are about 18 to 25-ish years old, and women who are about 18 to 25-ish years old. And according to my statistics, most of you guys are single. I'm kidding, you guys, but no, I'm just really happy to be bringing today's video. I hope that you guys find it helpful. If you guys are a note taker, go ahead and get your notebook out, get a pen, and start writing, because it is about to get real. But without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so before we get started, I did want to mention that this video is specifically for all the ladies, but if you are a man watching this, that's okay. You can stick around because this is going to be helpful for you as well, whether you're single, dating, engaged, or married. And same goes for the girls as well. Okay, so if you've been following me for a while, you know that I've had some bad experiences with relationships, and I've shared some, but I haven't been too like open about it, I guess, because it's just really personal to me. But I've learned a lot from those experiences, and I'm hoping that my experience and my advice will help you guys and not go through that, or just prevent some heartache for you guys, because obviously that is why I created this YouTube channel, and I just want to give you guys a little bit of encouragement. So I hope that's what it does to you. So I've come up with 12 things that you should look for in a man, and then I've come up with a different list on what things to look for in a Christian man. But don't worry, if you are not Christian, do not click exit. Oops. If you're not a Christian, don't click exit. This also pertains to you. And listen, it's so relatable, so please don't exit out. I'm not just doing this for Christians. Everyone needs to hear this, so make sure you stick around. Okay, so this list is in no specific order, but the number one thing that you should look for in a guy is charm or a good personality. I think those go hand in hand. It is so important that a guy is charming and they have a great personality, because if they don't, it's just gonna be kind of like a dual relationship. And if you are outgoing and they're not, it's gonna be, I don't know, I feel like it'll be really hard. You'll definitely have to try harder. I'm not saying that it won't work, but usually you should date someone who likes to do the same things that you like to do, or some of the same things that you like to do. All right, moving on to number 2, and that is for a guy to have confidence, a guy to be confident in himself. Now, there is a difference between confident and cocky. I honestly do not like cocky guys, and I don't think many people do. I don't think many people like cocky people in general, but there is a difference between cocky and confidence. A confident guy is someone who's not going to care about what others think. A confident guy is going to be someone who is just confident in their self-image, in what they're doing, and who they are striving to be. And I think that is so attractive in a guy. Honestly, I just find that so nice. Obviously everyone is gonna have insecurities, just as girls have insecurities, but for a guy to be confident, I feel like that just gives you more reason to be confident yourself. And all in all, I feel like if a guy is confident, it'll rub off on you and it'll make you confident. All right, moving on to the third thing that you should look for in a man, and that is for him to be committed and just intentional with your relationship. I think it's a really big turnoff for a guy to not know what they want in the relationship. Like, what do you want to get out of this. The end result, you guys, should always be marriage. If you are not dating to get married, then you shouldn't be dating at all, because I feel like dating is practicing to get married. Does that make sense? So if a guy doesn't have clear intentions, if they just want to mess around with you or just want to take your time, like, that is so frustrating. So definitely a guy should be intentional. You should even be able to ask him, hey, like, what are your intentions with me? Are you committed? Like, are you looking towards a you know, a future wife or something? And if they are not, then that is your answer to go, honey, because you no longer should stay in that relationship. Number 4, even though it might sound silly, I think it is a must-have in a guy. You should always look for a funny guy. You guys, funny is the new sexy, okay? Just kidding, I just made that up. But no, really, if a guy is funny, you are bound to have a great time in that relationship. And if a guy is not funny, if they're dull, like, it's gonna be boring, girlfriend, just so you know. So you might as well not even attempt to be in a relationship or to pursue that relationship with them, because if a guy is not funny when you're dating, don't expect him to be funny when you're married. That's not gonna change. Okay, so number 5 is not that serious, but it's really important for me personally, and that is to look for a man that is handy. Handy men are the way to go. I feel like handy men are just like so attractive to me. Like, it's so attractive when a guy can just be like, okay, I can fix this, instead of like, oh, let's call the plumber. Okay, actually, you might have to call the plumber if you're having a bath. Never mind, that was a bad example, but I mean, like, if you want to hang something up in your house, and they should be able to fix it for you. Or if you have a flat tire and you call them up like, hey hun, can you come help me like fix my tire or change my tire? Like, they should be able to help you do things like that. If they can't, now that's just sad, honestly. Like, I don't know if you should be with that man. The number 6 thing that you should look for in a man is for them to be respectful towards you. You do not want a pushy guy, especially in a relationship. If they are pushing you to do things that you don't want to do, that you're not comfortable with, you always want a guy to respect your boundaries. And if they are not going to meet your boundaries, if they're not going to meet those expectations, then you need to get out, because those are so important, and you should never, ever, ever compromise. You guys, I'm telling you this from experience, because I felt like I've compromised so many of my beliefs, so many of my boundaries, so many of the things I said I wouldn't do, because I don't know, I guess I was silly and naive, or I don't know what it was. But I'm telling you guys, if you have to compromise your boundaries, if they are willing to step over the line, regardless of what your boundaries are, like, that is so disrespectful. I think there's so much value in a guy that says, you know what, you want to save yourself from marriage? Okay, let's do it, you know? Or, hey, you don't want to go past kissing? Okay, let's not go past kissing. I feel like that right there will tell you where a guy's heart is at in the relationship, whether they just want to mess with you or whether they are actually willing to respect you and they see you as someone valuable. Number 7, you should always look for a man who is a go-getter. And by a go-getter, I'm not meaning to say a man who is gonna make bank and just make you rich, and who is gonna give you a mansion, give you a car, like all of these things. No, I'm not saying that at all. When I mean you should look for a guy who is a go-getter, I mean you should look for a guy who is hard-working, and they don't have to necessarily go to college, but they have to be just working hard at whatever they do, because you need a provider, obviously, in marriage. That's what you look for in a guy who's gonna provide for you, who's gonna sustain their family. If a guy is a go-getter, that means that they're willing to work hard for what they want. The next one on the list is to look for a man who is a good listener. You always need a good listener, especially if you're a girl, because girls like to talk and share their emotions and explain everything and anything. And honey, if you are not a good listener, you cannot have a good wife, because you need to have a good listener, okay? You need to have a good listener in your life. I feel like girls talk a lot and they express themselves a lot. So if you don't have someone that is really willing to listen to you, and really, like, if you say, hey honey, like, I need you to change this, and then they don't listen to you, like, that's you are dating the wrong person, or you're engaged to the wrong person. Sorry to tell you, I know, sorry to burst your bubble, but you are. The next one on the list kind of goes hand in hand with a guy being funny, but the next one is a man who has a sense of humor. You guys, if there's a guy who does not have a sense of humor, what are you doing? Because a relationship should always be fun, full of laughter. And I feel like, actually, like they say, the statistics say that a guy who has more, like a relationship who has a good sense of humor, like lasts longer, because you release endorphins every time you laugh. So I think that's so cool. The next one is to look for a man who is willing to compliment you, make you feel beautiful, and honestly really just make you feel confident in yourself. Someone who is willing to go out of their way and say, hey, you look so good today, or hey, I really like the way that you dressed today, or your makeup looks so good on you, or you know, things like that, that just make you feel beautiful, make you feel confident in your own skin. I think that is so good to have in a guy. Moving on to number 11, and that is personal hygiene. Something you should look for in a man is personal hygiene. And I know that sounds weird, but you guys, I feel like a lot of guys don't know that a girl likes when a guy smells good. A girl likes when a guy takes a shower after they work out. A girl likes when a guy is just invested in their personal hygiene, and especially when it comes to teeth. Or am I the only one? I don't like guys with yellow teeth. No offense if you have yellow teeth. I know my teeth are not the whitest, but they're also not yellow. So, or I hope not. Maybe they are. No, just kidding. But you guys, yeah, I think personal hygiene is so important. And I think if you look for that in a guy, it'll lead to a successful marriage, I think, because that means that they're not slobs. They will clean after themselves and you don't have to clean after them, and they will put the toilet seat down every time they use it, hopefully. I'm praying for you guys. All right, and then number 12 is just to look for a guy who is going to be active and who is going to be into fitness. I know that not everyone is into fitness, but a guy who at least cares to be active and not just sit around in front of the screen playing their stupid video games. I think that's really important, because obviously you don't want a guy who's going to be just a couch potato. You don't want a potato, period. Okay, so you want a guy who's gonna be active, who's gonna do home workouts with you, who's gonna go on a run, on a bike ride, or who's gonna go fishing to the mountains. I don't know, especially if you love adventure like me. I love adventure, so I love a guy who is down to go camping, down to go fishing, down to go, you know, all of the above. So yeah, I think that's all I needed to say about that. Okay, and then this next list ties into all of these things that I've talked about, but this list is more specifically narrowing it down for a Christian man. What to look for in a Christian man. And the first thing that you should look for is a guy who loves people. There is a verse in the Bible, I think it's John 13:34. I might be wrong, I'll fix it right there if I'm wrong. But it says, love others just as I have loved you. So if your significant other or whoever you're interested in doesn't love people, what makes you think they're gonna love you? Or what makes you think they're gonna love themselves? So that should be really one of your biggest priorities, is for that person to be selfless, to want to serve others, because in return they're gonna want to serve you. They're gonna want to put you first. They're gonna want to sacrifice themselves for your benefit, and that is so awesome. I cannot wait to get married and experience that, because that's so good, you guys, and hopefully you guys will find that in a man as well. Okay, I'm gonna go through the next the next few things kind of fast, because this video is already getting long. But another thing that you guys should look for in a man is a leader. Obviously, you want someone who is gonna lead the household, someone who's gonna lead your kids, lead you, and more important than that, someone who's gonna lead you closer to God. You should look for someone who is going to lead you to want to read the Bible together and pray together and just experience that close relationship with God. Like, that is so amazing if a guy can do that. And if not, I know that it requires a lot, you know, a lot of effort in your part. Like, if you're Christian and they're not Christian, there's always going to be that imbalance. And obviously, like, as a leader, a guy should lead you closer to God. But if they don't have a good relationship with God, then you're gonna kind of have to take more of that weight. But it's okay, it can happen. Like, literally, God can make beautiful things even out of dysfunctional marriages. So if you are married to a non-believer and you yourself are a Christian, don't lose hope. It'll be better, it'll be okay, as long as you lead by example too. Like, they will follow, and it'll take time, but it's gonna be worth it. And this one is also super important. Well, I feel like all of them are really important, but this one, I think it really hits home for me. You should definitely be with a guy who is not afraid to talk about marriage or the future. If they are afraid to talk about marriage, that means they are not committed to you, or they are scared of commitment, which in return is gonna bring a lot of arguments, a lot of fights, and just a lot of disagreements between each other, because between you guys, because you guys are not gonna be on the same page. So some guys might just be thinking about like what they want to do tomorrow, and you might be thinking about what you want to do in 5-10 years. So it's confusing. You have to have patience with that, but make sure they are willing to talk about the future with you, because after all, dating is just practicing for the future. And you guys, last but not least, you also want someone who's going to be patient with you, who's going to be forgiving. There's going to be a lot of situations where you mess up and you really have to ask for forgiveness. And if that person is not willing to forgive, then that's not the person God has for you, because we should be forgiving, we should be patient, just like God is patient with us, just like God is forgiving with us. And honestly, like, even the big things, like even forgiving people the big things in life, like cheating, like that's huge, you guys. And I've personally gone through that, and I myself am still like scarred from it. But if you can say, when you marry a person, through the good and the bad, whether in health or in sickness, like if you can say those vows, you better mean it, you guys, because things are gonna get ugly. Things are gonna be good some days, things are gonna be ugly some days. So you have to prepare for the worst. And if someone is not willing to be forgiving whenever you mess up, then that means that they really truly don't know the love of God. Because we are human beings, we mess up every single day, we are sinners, and it's bound to happen, you guys. We're gonna make mistakes along the way. So anyways, I hope that makes sense to you guys. That is all I have for you guys. I loved making this video for you guys and preparing. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you guys don't miss any more videos. And I always forget to say this, but please follow me on Instagram. I think I said it at the beginning of this video, but please follow me on Instagram, okay? I'll leave my Instagram down below so that you guys can stay connected with me, and so you guys can follow my life on a more personal level. But with any further ado, I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye guys, love you.